So what I think is quite interesting is we are both doing the same kind of work on the same kind of themes, but in totally different ways that complement each other completely. And so is our sister Syra with Idris Shah Foundation. But what I like so much is that what you're doing is not something I would do, not because I wouldn't want to do it, I just wouldn't know how to do it. And can you explain about Kashfi's children?
So in brief, both of what we're doing, and with Syra as well, is mainly based on stories and
And teaching stories.
And teaching stories specifically, and this enormous power that teaching stories have to deliver something useful. So with Kashfi's children, what we did, and it's named after our mother, Kashfi, we paired up with Hupo, for Hooper Books from the US, which set up by Sally Ornstein, shortly after our father's death, in fact. And we took out the teaching stories from his works. And Sally and her team were incredible, cracked these stories open, had them illustrated, and put into parallel languages in various books, one story per book. And I've just really been developing that now. So, but it has got bigger and bigger. So we used to have 6 languages, we now have, mainly thanks to you, 28 languages, I think was the last thing. And in dual languages, so you might have Dari and Pashto in one book, or you might have German and Dari, or you might have Ukrainian and English. And the idea is that one uses these stories to promote literacy and tolerance and understanding.
Like you were saying earlier, with our mum's outlook on life, which is practical and a kind of hands-on approach to life, not shying away, but using whatever you have.
Exactly.
You know?
I think I could only really be involved in something very practical. I think I have inherited that side from her. I get so edgy if I'm not doing something that I could see, is working. But luckily it has, and I think it's the same. You've used stories,
What we see, I mean, the same thing as you, and it's obvious you couldn't have grown up at Langton House in our household without having this completely nailed to your chest like a medal. It's this suit of armor, plus a toolbox, plus all kinds of other things that. And it's no surprise because this is ancient, it's an ancient know-how that has been used throughout history. And we're just surprised when people think this kind of these kind of stories as a new way of operating. I mean,
yes, and actually they're ancient. And it's how all stories used to be. So we keep going on about the Hollywoodization of stories, and what a shame that is, because a good teaching story is a little bit, it's very entertaining, but it's a little bit ambiguous. And it's that ambiguity that makes the brain try and solve it, try and go back to it. And like the Nasruddin stories, you might get something different each time you return to it.
And like you said before, throughout your life, the same story pays out differently.
Yeah.
So it's almost like, it's like a one-armed bandit in a casino that...
You're not sure what you're going to get.
Well, each time you get a different deal. And I think that's what's interesting. I mean, that's what... And you see children playing.
Yeah.
Children love all kinds of play, but they love it when it's random, so you just don't know what you're going to get.
And imaginative, because that's the other thing. If you don't handhold through that sort of experience too much, there's much, much more room for imagination. And that's proper exercise for the brain and for problem solving, all sorts of brilliant, brilliant techniques that children are learning without even knowing they're learning.
Great.